Hey yo, we back. Another week with your cringe stories, terrible things y'all have been through. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who came out to my New York show at the Whiskey Cellar in New York. It's crazy. It was crazy to see people in the flesh. But I felt appreciated, I felt loved, and I'm glad that I was able to give people a good show. And I hope to continue to give people good shows. My next show is in Washington, D.C. on Black Friday. If you're in the area, or if you feel like getting away from your family, traveling, coming to see me in the country's capital, come do so. I'll be at Sully's doing my stand-up, doing my thing. But yo, let's get into these stories. I had two stories today. Because y'all, most of you aren't aware of this, that this is a thing. But send in your stories, Go to aojoey.com, send them in. It comes from Instagram. Hi, Joey. Hi. I have a quick little story that happened to me the other day. Not that crazy, but I figured it might be funny. I like that this isn't a story from 2006, because a lot of stories that have come from years ago, and you can tell people have been sitting with it for a while, and that's how these situations sit with people. That's how it affects people, and it's kind of sad. You get your first job in life and you deal with a creepy ass manager or a creepy ass line cook, and that it sits with you forever. But I digress. I have a middle-aged baby daddy coworker who, when I mentioned I didn't like kids, asked about pre-kids. Pre-kids. I know I should keep reading, but I'm trying to figure out if that means what I think it means. That's a wild two words to put together, you know what I mean? Pre-kids. A lot of implications there, but let's find out. And when I asked what that was, hold on 1 second though. Maybe, and I'm not trying to critique you. I guess anyone would have asked, but it seems like you set yourself up for this one. I wouldn't have asked. When someone says pre-kids, I don't think there's anywhere good that can go. So I would have just, how about the weather? When I asked what that was, he said, I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. It's just crazy how it goes from 0 to 100, real quick. I don't mean to quote Drake, but his song is so apropos to so many circumstances. How do you go from this to come sit on my lap? I guess in all reality, to say come sit on my lap, there's never really a good thing before it. Unless, you're in a relationship with someone and y'all are cool together like that. But, all right, come sit on my lap and I'm going to let you feel them. Oh, my God, bro. I can't even. Bro, this really happened to you? And recently, in 2025, this is some 90s, you just walked into the wrong bar type of movie. Damn, how you act like that in 2025, knowing the implications of what happens with things. Social media is a thing. There's cameras everywhere. There's just there's that site. What's that site? The T app. This man's not worried about winding up on the T app. Come sit on my lap and I'm going to let you feel them. I'm just playing with you, girl. Oh, that makes it better. I'm just playing with you. The manager was sitting right there, laughed, and made a comment about my chest being ready for some kids. Yo, bro, what? Hold on. Where was, you said you had a coworker. This is at your job, bro? You need a new job, dude. Or at least like, bro, tell me you're not still working there. That was at your job? I can't. I don't even have anything to say to that. Man, you should have just went into fight mode. Or just like, here's my resignation. I guess you need the job though, right? To make those comments is wild though. In 2025, like in the 90s and stuff, in the early 2000s, there was no like, to record someone you had to have a device, you know? Like a whole thing, you had to go to Radio Shack to get something. So it was hard, yo. It was a Wild West probably. But today, to say something wild like that, because I'm sure it wasn't the first time that they said something like that to anyone. So like, as that type of person, you should expect people to start recording you. Because those are just some out-of-pocket... Her chest is ready for some kids anyway. Bro, even in the context of like, maybe you'd be good at like breastfeeding or something, maybe like, even if you put it that way, it's wrong as hell. It's just wrong in so many ways. I gotta move on to the next one. I hope you don't work there anymore. I really hope you quit and reported them. But that's just my humble opinion. Hi. My name is Sarah, and this is about a line cook I worked with. Sounds, the way you started off sounds like like the pilot of a sitcom. Like, hi, my name is Sarah, and this is about like a line cook. A line cook I worked with at a truck stop diner. It's crazy that like truck stop diners like are real. Like this really sets the ambiance, you know? I'm from New York. So like Staten Island, we don't really have that. We have diners, but you know. But anything could really be a truck stop diner, right? If you think about it. First off, I was 16. It always starts off this way. He knew this too. This ain't gonna go anywhere good. And this dude was around 40. Man, I don't even want to do the math on that. That math is just, that's illegal math. You know, it's illegal just all around, so why even do the math? He constantly flirted with the girls that worked there, but me and the other teen girl were his number ones. And you know how you knew you were his number ones? Because he probably told you, which is sick. You my number ones. Bro, they underage. That's what they are, dude. The pickup line that haunts me almost 10 years later is when I ordered French toast. I don't mean to laugh, but like French toast. And in this situation is wild. For my meal one night. Well, that's... Why you ordering French toast for dinner? You one of those breakfast for dinner girls? That's why he was probably after you. Because he probably wakes up at 5 p.m. Because that's when the night crawlers come out, you know? That's it. For when you around men like this, you can't be having breakfast for dinner because he'll make you take a nap in the daytime. And I don't mean like, you know, no Bill Cosby thing, stuff like that. I just mean like his life is set up to where, you know, sleeping in the afternoon is a thing. And he would want you to do that with. He's looking for the daytime quickies. You know what I mean? When I went to grab my plate, he asked if it was mine. I said, yeah, what of it? He said, next time, let me know it's yours and I'll make it my special way. So that right there is a great warning. Don't let him know next time. Because I guarantee you don't want to know what his special way is. So that was actually a good warning. Because now you can avoid whatever the hell that means. I'll put my special ingredient in it. Just for you. Of course, he said this with the most disgusting tone of voice while looking me up and down, bro. A few weeks later, I had ordered French toast. Why are you ordering French toast again like that? Look, you know what happened the first time this happened. So immediately I would cross off French toast for the foreseeable future until this man is no longer in your perimeter. You know what I mean? French toast is like your red flag food. You don't do that again. This man's trying to put his special ingredient in it. You know, he gave you a warning. I know you were 16 at the time, but come on now. He thinks you like his breakfast girly. And when it printed, he asked if it was mine. Again, see, he's doing, it's Groundhog Day. He's doing a creepy Groundhog Day. I said, yeah, having erased that prior moment from my, no. You don't erase those memories. You use it as like the guide for next time. I'm telling you, no breakfast, no French toast. Don't even eat around this man. This man is concocting his own menu to use against you. You don't put nothing in your mouth around this individual. He said, sweet, I'll add my special. See, he's doing it. My stomach dropped once that memory came back, and I wasn't sure if he'd actually do anything gross or not to my food. See, you don't want to be living like that. It seems to me, Sarah, that you really enjoy French toast. Why are you going to let this man ruin it for you? You know, like French toast seems like it's a staple in your life. And now, you were 16 at the time, and we're in 2025, and you always have to associate French toast with this man and his special ingredient, which I don't even want to know what the ingredient is, but I guess we're going to find out, right? Turns out all he did was add vanilla. He's just a gross person to talk to. A little anticlimactic, Sarah. But I'm glad he didn't do anything foul to your French toast. I'm genuinely hoping it was vanilla, though. And I hope that he didn't ruin your experience with French toast. Because again, it seems like it's a major part of your life. And you eat it at dinner time, which is wild work. But anyway, I'm glad you weren't poisoned. And, check out my merch. Come to my shows, aojoey.com. Thank you all always for the support. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have a story that's in your pocket that you want to submit, you can submit the story at aojoey.com as well. And I'll see you in the next